appreciate this interview, bro, like so much, man. Like this is just a huge opportunity, a blessing itself.
No problem, man. I appreciate you. I told you a couple years ago, you know what I mean, that you are the country rap academics, you know what I mean? You have so much, you have so much opportunity, and opportunity is absolutely everything.
From the hood to the woods. Yeah. Y'all get ready. From the sticks Me to and the Big Kev. Y'all better buckle up.
From the sticks to the bricks.
It's pretty cool if you compare them too, because you got like Gates and Colt Ford, you got Dirk and Morgan Wallen, and then you got like Boosie and Upchurch. So I think, all of those kind of fit each other if you really break them down. So it's pretty cool.
Can we talk about the Morgan Wallen remix? What was that experience like when y'all went down to Nashville?
They had dropped the record and it was buzzing for I think they had just dropped the record. And so someone online had put out the instrumental, and we were in downtown Nashville with Chase and Upchurch in the studio, and they were just writing some records for Chase. And I told them yo, I think y'all should do this remix. Of course, Ryan's like, hey, we should shoot this video. And I was like, well, let's do it. And he's like, well, when you want to do it? And I was like, well, let's do it tonight. And so we literally went home, grabbed the camera, shot the video, and put it out that next morning.
The quality, to be able to do that in a fast-paced, time period, that had to been challenging for you to do it in that short amount of time, right?
Yes and no. I mean, back in the day when I was shooting music videos, I definitely prided myself in the early days that, one of the things that people knew me for was my turnaround time. I could shoot a music video in a day and have it to you the next day, so in the peak of my music videos, in 1 year, I shot 52 music videos. It is challenging, but, for me, it's I just eat and sleep this shit.
Some people go for gold, then lose sight of the shine. And the sparkle that once was gets tarnished in mine.
I got introduced to Upchurch through Demon Jones, and Demon had a featured video called Off Road with Upchurch.
Camouflage on a dance, baby, I'm that man, turned up like a bunch of fucking NASCAR fans. Shit, all I do is win like Ricky Bobby. Behind the seat, but Nelly with the shotty. Me and Jones about to crank the party.
And he's like, hey, come to Georgia. We're going to drive down to this little town called Cheatham County, and we're going to go out there and do a feature video with this guy named Upchurch. We went out there, shot that video off-road for him, had a great time, it was a good experience going out there. And then they had another record called Campfire Cologne.
When the sun goes down, you know where I'll be, with a case of good time and some John Deere green, kicking sparks to the sky. I'm in my zone every night, spraying on that campfire cologne, a campfire cologne. And you know I'm not alone, a campfire cologne.
We ended up shooting that video, Campfire Cologne, and then after that video shoot, we all go to the Waffle House. He's telling me, hey, I need a new video guy. I would love for you to come out there and shoot some videos with me. A couple months later, I went out to Cheatham County, and I stayed with Ryan for 3 or 4 days. And within that 3-day span, we shot Old Days, we shot Ghost, and we shot Summer Love. Yeah, so on the last tour, we got the opportunity to do some arena shows. So we knew we had to bring a big production to it. So we went out and rented this giant-ass warehouse. But I had a lot of space in this warehouse as well. So throughout the extra time that I had, I was just kind of putting some sets together and kind of building some props and stuff. And I had built this gym set, and he showed me the People's Champ song.
Oh, damn, I'm the People's Champ. I know what they're saying, but your boy don't care.
And we got that video done in probably we shot it in 3 days. I edited it in about 1. When I heard the record, right out of the gate, I had that image of the projector playing all the old stuff. You know, like that was the first vision I got in my head. He had the tub vision and him painted in gold, and I had that, you know, vision of the projector kind of going on in my head. And it just felt like the perfect time. Like it was paying homage to all of the old locations that we got to shoot. And then to be able to go back to these locations, you know, 3 or 4 years later, and to have our own history and to have our own memories within these places between me and him, and, you know, between all the people we share the music with. Like, it's super important to me to make sure that, you know, I deliver the right image and I make sure to pay respect to these kind of people and places that I do this stuff for. Traveler. Within that video, I got to see 5 different looks of him. Like, it really felt like this one person was traveling through time and could be anything he wanted to be. And that's what I get from him when I'm around him, is like, he's just so timeless. Yeah, man, that was like a fucking movie in itself, man, because I didn't know we were going to see Boosie. We just thought we were going to go drop some money off at this manager. So you know, he gives us the address and we're driving out in the middle of Atlanta. And as we're getting closer, I'm like, I think we're getting, you know, I think we're going to Boosie's house. So he drops the pin and the pin's like, you know, down the street, you know, and I'm just like, I don't think this is the place. And then he's like, yeah, just come up a little bit more. And sure enough, it was Boosie's house, the big old gates. He had like 20 foreign cars outside, and they just left the door open. And, you know, we walked inside, and, you know, he's watching a football game and shit. And I'm just like, this is fucking crazy, man. This is like Lil Boosie's house, you know? I've met a lot of people in the industry, you know, and he was very, very nice and very welcoming and letting us in his house and stuff. And, you know, finished up with his family. You know, we went into his home studio, knocked out the record, you know, and, you know, made some video content for us and stuff like that, and asked us if we needed anything else. So, I mean, it was super, super cool.
I might die tonight, but if I do, I'ma be okay. And if I die tonight, at least I stood by the stuff I said. I got 2 graves dug, one for me and one for the motherfucker standing in my way. And if I die tonight, at least I can say,
yeah, I got to go back and check that video out. But yeah, I remember that fucking video. It was so crazy. Ryan's like, hey, Adam will be here in a couple hours. We're going to shoot this video for him. So I'm like, okay, shit. So I start listening to the song. I'm like, all right, man, I got some, you know, sometimes my vision is just too big for my own good. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I want some fire. I see like graves and shit. I was like, die tonight. I was like, fuck yeah. So I found the location. I ran out, got the location. I was like, all right, I'm going to dig some graves. I was like, I got 2 hours. I'm going to dig these graves, do all this shit. I fucking started hitting it with that shovel, and it's like rock hard. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, how the fuck am I going to do this? So I ended up only getting like maybe a foot and a half on each grave before we had to shoot the video. But just the way that I shot it made it look deep. Coming up, you know, shooting videos in Houston, that's definitely like one of the people I looked up to. Him. There's a person coming out of Houston named Michael Artis at the time. He was just legendary in the city. Boomtown, legendary in my city. Like, these were people that were shooting like $20,000 to $50,000 music videos, and it was like, it was either them or nothing. You know what I mean? So it was like seeing that kind of quality and seeing people like Cole Bennett and his effects. It was like, man. That's definitely something that we have talked about is, you know, we have so many ideas for films that we think that we might end up shooting like a couple trailers and just having the fans pick which one we should like further. Yeah, one of my favorite videos, I think one of my best videos was Ghost Ranch. Because, you know, I got to implement the storyline and, you know, I really got to just show myself.
Ghost Ranch lights come on, come on. Watch the Ghost Ranch lights come on.
Yeah, working on some new videos right now, just trying to, up the production always. Like, I know it's hard to do that when the quality's already top notch, but it's like there's so many storylines and so much subliminals and stuff that we like to put in our videos that people can dissect, you know what I mean? I love the reaction era that's out right now, that so many different interpretations of the songs and the videos.
I'm a traveling gypsy, tipsy off weed and rye whiskey, whistling the silence at night as the ghosts emerge from the thick weed, drifting in clothing they had when they left this world years ago. So they tiptoe in heaven nervous cause they still ain't their norm. They seen the light but didn't travel, got stuck in the past to explore. Maybe we are in the past, that means the future is more. Or maybe the future is present, and before us this question, if that's the case, who do we ask when we need backwards directions? I mean, there's a meaning for attributes, especially one of a leader, one who goes against the world and don't care to die neither. And if I'm Robert E. Lee, give me that Confederate flag, take me back to the past so I can bleed out and laugh. He was a traveler,
Okay.
a rock star and a healer. Oh, we'll spinning in the sunset through the night, into the dark unknown. Guns loaded, but he always made it home before the light.
Yo. Hold on. Does the screen really matter?
There's no video.
There's no video. But anyway, that was him singing? This dude be singing for real, huh?
I don't know.
You
who
just
it was.
travel. Like, god damn.
That's who was
and he was,
singing?
yeah, I think that was Upchurch. And he was flowing his ass off.
Yeah, he was.
From what I've heard, he's never flowed like that. That was like, that shit was nice, bro. That was kind of
Yeah.
fire. I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that. Okay, Upchurch.
Definitely, we got some tours coming up next year. A lot of videos, a lot of new music.
Cotton candy, clouds in my view. In my own world when I'm in my room. Every picture painted as a portal of a tomb. X my eyes, see the fires all blow. Whole world stuck to the gloom. Television saying that we're gonna die soon. Every leader on edge with a bunch of old news. X my eyes, see the flowers all blue. In the future when my name's passed around, they'll say that he's a pioneer. They'll say he's a pioneer. I'll be the wind when you need a breeze. I'll dance in the woods with you as a tree. If you cry in the rain, then the rain is me. Hearing gunshots in my head every time I got an idea. Turn my visions into real time life. Fuck a house, I'ma need a gallery. Yeah, I know my face new. I'm a walking breakthrough. I am from a rare few. We do not compare. Yeah, I know my face new. It's one you should get used to. Pull up on the strip so deep we need like 50 canoes. Yeah, I know my face new. Woo, 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 woo. Church.
And that's pretty much it.
Next to it, my next to it. They said my next to it. Yeah, they said my dream was a dead end. They said people like me don't trend. Said my slang won't ever get there. They said my neck was too red. Neck too red. Boy, your neck's too red. My neck's too red. My town 90% white. Blame God for my southern roots. Thank him also cause I got the juice. Leaving marks all on these music dudes. Like burnouts do with a 302. Weed him, holla boys. Tatted up, missing teeth and scars. Gang shit off the front board. Grew up on a blowtorch.
torch. We ain't known no Scotch torch. All we knew was Highland Rim, case of beer and some race cars. Alpha male with the straight bars. Dixie made me do it like I do. And if you got a problem with my side of town, just know we ain't finna budge for you. They